Appear to have had a fatality overnight. One of the deers is dead. So, first things first, it's a case of stripping out everything that we can strip out of the engine bay. Appear to have had a fatality overnight. One of the deers is dead.
Dear oh dear.
I'll have to fix that. So, today's job, engine bay. We need to try and get as much out of it as possible, so that there's minimal stuff that we need to be masking up. So first things first, it looks like we're going to get some rain today. No wind at the minute, or minimal wind. So we're going to get the gazebo up, keep it nice and dry for us during the day. And then we will come back to you and show you what needs to be done in the engine bay. Right, gazebo's up. Which is a good job, because the second we actually got it up it started raining, so that was good timing. So first things first, it's a case of stripping out everything that we can strip out of the engine bay. Anything that can't be taken out of the engine bay we'll just leave, and get it masked up. I've got mask paper somewhere.
In the bottom box.
Mask paper and masking tape, so we can just mask it all up, the stuff that we can't take out. But looking at it, the majority of this stuff will come out, so that's pretty good. My wiper motor disintegrated at some point last night. I'm guessing the winds must have blown it off, so we need to recover all the bits for that. Because obviously when I powder coated the body for it, this thing here, I took it apart to be able to do it, and what I should have done is remove the starter motor out of the car, but I didn't, so there we go. So I'm going to clean this bench down, put a nice clean surface on it, and then we can start taking bits out of the car, putting them on here. So we'll clear some space first. Okay, so the key here is to try and take as much as possible out of the engine bay, so that we've got as little as possible to mask and clean, obviously. Now the majority of it we can take out. I know that the washer pump will come out, the windscreen wiper motor will come out, fuel pump come out, carburettor can come out, cables, starter motor can come out. I can take the coil pack off, washer bottle, horn, tube. Some of the wiring loom can be pulled out. Then I can bundle it up in a carrier bag, and we can put that somewhere out of the way. Right then, that is everything off, as you'll have seen from the time lapse. Hopefully, providing the time lapse has come out okay. Everything that could come off has come off. So we've got the power regulator, voltage regulator, sorry, there, which doesn't actually serve a purpose anymore because she's got a alternator on her. But we keep it there for aesthetics. Windscreen wiper motor, it needs a full clean, bits dropped off it, so I need to clean all the old grease off, put some nice fresh clean grease in it, rebuild it, put all the shiny bits back on it, give it a clean. The carb's off, needs a good clean up. She's filthy. Now the car ran perfectly, actually fairly faultlessly, didn't it? You know, so I don't really think we need to do anything with this because not long ago I did a rebuild on it and put new jets and stuff on it. So it's had new jets, it's had new needles and floats and all that sort of stuff. So it's it won't need a rebuild, but it does need a clean. The starter solenoid, starter motor, coil pack, horn, windscreen bottle, secondary fuse box, but my fuse box is broken because some idiot put it in the channel for the wing and then shut the bonnet and it broke. Honestly, idiots. Yes, that was me. So the fuse box itself is actually in pretty poor state, so I think I'm probably, for the sake of what they are, they're only, I think when we got one for the midget it was only about a £5, wasn't it?
Yeah, they weren't a lot.
Yeah, so I think we'll upgrade it, maybe put a slightly bigger fuse box, because this fuse box ran the fuel pump, this thing here, and it's hashed together, the wires didn't fit properly and all sorts of things. So I think we'll probably order a fresh fuse box and link it all together and do it nicely. So yeah, there's a couple of bits of welding I need to do. There's a patch on the front arm. There's loads of patches on the front, but I'm not going to get into the state of replacing it because it's rock solid. It's just there's a couple of little holes, so I'm just going to cut the hole out, put a patch in it, and then it'll be nice and secure, and the rust won't continue. And I think that's about it really. I don't think there's much else to do. So we're going to go and have some lunch. And the rain is much heavier than it said it was going to be, which is about right. And then we'll come out and we'll start prepping, cleaning, bagging, wrapping, and then see how far we get on. If we get enough time, we might be able to put some paint on it. It's not the greatest of conditions to paint in, but I have painted in rain before. It does work. You just have to change the mix of your paint slightly and just have to be prepared that you might have to sand a bit back. Well, it's an engine bay. I'm not hugely concerned about the finish. I just want it to look a little bit nicer. If it was bodywork, like on the midget, I painted the midget in a tent on the drive. In rain, in fact. It was raining, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we had to buy tarpaulin.
We had to put a tarpaulin to put over the tent because the tent kept leaking. So I know it's possible, and I know you can get a good finish from it. Yes, I know it's not perfect in ideal conditions, but it can be done. So we're going to do that. I think that's it, really, isn't it? So let's go get some lunch and then we'll crack on. Right then, lunch has been had. So next stage is to clean up a couple of little bits. I've got just a couple of bits that need repairing. So we'll clean those out, weld them up. Mrs S has just gone to pull some veg out of the garden for tea, so I'm on my own for a little bit before she rejoins us. So I'll get the welding done while she's away, because there's not really much she can do while I'm doing that. So let's get you set up and then get on. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is use the death wheel and clean this bit up here. You can see it's all solid underneath, it's just this little patch here, so I just need to cut that out. But you can see it's been patched in several places. Majority of this is covered up by the radiator, so I'm not particularly concerned about how it looks. So I'm just going to clean it off, stick a patch over the top of it, get it painted and protect it. So let's get on. Okay, that's nice and clean now. I've cleaned this edge of the metal up here as well. I'm going to cavity wax all of this lot. I'm not using wax oil, I don't think, because it's really messy. But yeah, I think I just got a little patch out for that now. So just get some steel. A good thing with these DJI mics is that you can wander around with them still on. I know you can't see me and you can just hear clattering and banging, but at least you know I'm doing something, I suppose. Oh, these tin snips are rubbish. So, we don't need a big bit. We just want to try and just patch it in. I think that'll be alright. So, like I say, it's not the most ideal. Realistically, what I should be doing is cutting that bit out, putting a nice new bit of metal in, but the likelihood is this car is going to need a restoration in the future. Extension lead's wet, I'm sure that's fine. What do I need? Gloves, helmet, da-da-da-da, glove stick. Everything just drops off this tool bench. It's probably something to do with the fact that I've got far too many tools. Maybe that's the reason. But we'll pretend that it isn't. Okay. Right, let's see if she plays ball today. It also helps if I actually turn the gas on. I have a habit of forgetting that. Right, let's try that again, this time with feeling. Lovely. It's welding a little bit better today. I'll just knock that wire speed down a little bit. I think half of the issue yesterday was the wind was so strong that it was blowing the gas away. Much better. Much better. That was really bad, Liam. Oh dear. This welder can be a pain in the bum. Why has it started being a pig? Come on, welder. It seems that you turn the wire speed down on it, and it just repeatedly jams. It's I think it's something to do with the wire spool rather than the welder itself. But come on. Fire. Fire. That's better. Done. So I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do at the top, which I'll use one of these flapper discs on, because it just does a little bit of a better job and it's faster. I've got to put the other engine mount back in temporarily while we paint it, although I might leave it off actually. Paint it and then put it on for a second when I do the second coat. I've got to keep this up out the way somehow. We've got a clean, we've got a mask, clean mask, clean mask, clean mask. Lots of cleaning, lots of masking. Cut off some of the loose connectors like so. But yeah, we're getting there. It's not too bad now. That was probably easier to see than when I was doing the underneath, because it was so hard to do, and welding upwards is quite quite a challenge really. Doing that kind of weld is relatively straightforward. So it's probably a good job Dave didn't come to help with this one, because it turned out to be a little harder than we first thought. So clean that bit up, turn the welder off, clean that bit up and see what we need to do next. I think it's going to be, I might have to go and get some brake cleaner, because I don't think I've got any left. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm waffling. So, out. Take that off. Turn the gas off before I run out. And it's amazing, isn't it, how much better it welds when the gas isn't being blown away by the wind. Okay. Right then, so little update, you've probably seen on the time lapse, everything that can come out has now been taken out, including the Armstrong shocks, because we decided that they're going to be better to be painted separately. So I've red oxided the repair panel, as you can see there. I know it's pretty poor, but it's structurally sound, and the radiator sits in front of it, so you won't see it. Only 500 subscribers, because most of you aren't subscribed, hashtag just saying, will know that that's there. So next stage is clean. We've got to clean it all down and then scotch pad everything. I'm going to scotch pad the bottom bit here where the rust is, treat the rust with some rust treatment stuff, and then just a little bit of red oxide where there's bare metal. But the rest of it I'm just going to key, or we are going to key, with Scotch Brite, because the best primer you can get is original paint. I was told that by an old painting friend of mine, and he wasn't wrong. So that is the next stage. A little bit of a faff, but yeah, the hard bit was all of this. So let's get the key bits keyed, and then we'll get some paint on it, I think. Right then, so it seems for whatever reason the microphones didn't work here, so you've got me doing a voiceover instead. I think what happened was I failed to turn the receiver on, so it can only be my fault. Now, as you can see here, that's 3 coats of paint. It's been completed, and as Lady S brings the camera into the garage to talk to me, I now need to try and remember what it is I was actually saying. But I believe what it was just to letting you know that that's it now. It's had 3 coats of paint. First coat was a mist coat, a heavy coat, second coat, and then a third coat for a final. It's the engine bay at the end of the day. It doesn't need too much paint on it. But I went with a heavy coat second, purely to try and give it a bit of longevity. All the rust was treated underneath with a rust treating primer, only on the exposed bits. Now, taking everything out of the engine bay, the Anderson shocks I'm going to paint separately, and then get them back on the car so I can roll it around, because at the minute it's stood on axle stands. And on the bench is all of the bits and bobs that we've got to clean, rebuild, and put back together, give it a freshen up, paint, powder coat if necessary, and then get it back on the car. And then what we'll do is redo the wiring loom, because the wiring loom currently is got some frayed tape on it and stuff like that, and I've got some wiring loom tape, so I'm going to redo the whole wiring loom, try and make it look at least presentable, and that will certainly make the engine bay look a little tidier. And then it's just a case really of making sure everything's wired up correctly and working, and then it will be a case of being able to get the engine back into the engine and gearbox, back into the car. So we'll be in a fairly good position to do this relatively shortly. It's been about 2 weeks since at the point of editing this video, it's been about 2 weeks since I actually painted it. So the paint will be nice and cured now. I'll be able to take the masking off, get the wiring loom taped up, and then look at getting the engine and gearbox back in. Of course, I've got to put the shocks back on so I can actually roll it around. Otherwise, it pretty much can't go anywhere. So thanks very much for watching this one. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a like, and please consider subscribing. We're doing quite well on the old subscribers at the minute, so I'd like to both myself and Dave would like to keep that going, so please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. And then we'll see you in the next video. And of course, before I do go, I must extend a special thanks to Lady S that supported me and gave me assistance in this particular video. She's always helping me. She is my rock, so I appreciate it a lot. So I hope you see this video and get to hear this part of it, because it does mean a lot to me. Anyway guys, see you in the next one. Thank you.